Right now, live at 5, special session in order. What Minnesota's state lawmakers are hoping to achieve while back at the Capitol. Plus, making history. The name of a black man is cleared 100 years after he was convicted of a crime he didn't commit.
Coming up tonight, how local loggers in the Northland are being impacted by COVID-19.
And as cities continue the reopening process, officials say it means good news for local businesses.
You're watching Live at 5 on Live Local CBS3.
Welcome to the CBS3 News Live at 5. Here's a live look from Duluth City Hall. Tonight we're getting Mayor Emily Larson's reaction to the special session taking place at the Capitol right now. Good afternoon, I'm Kristen Bakke. Anthony has the night off. As we mentioned, a special session of the legislature is underway in Minnesota to examine police practices after the death of George Floyd. Minnesota Democrats are proposing a ban on police using chokeholds, requiring officers to intercede when a colleague uses excessive force, and revamping the arbitration process for police who contest their firings. Earlier this week, Governor Tim Walz and fellow Democrats in the state legislature proposed the measures designed to overhaul the police department. Minneapolis Police Chief Medario Arredondo vowed to make sweeping changes in his department. This comes as activists call on legislators to take action.
We need legislators on both sides of the aisle to step up to the plate. The world is watching what is happening here in Minnesota. And the sad reality is that if legislators had taken the voices of communities of color seriously with regard to the crisis in policing, we wouldn't be in this place that we're in right now.
Minneapolis Mayor Jacob Frey mentioned the state's mandatory arbitration process as something that needed changing in order to set Minneapolis police on the right path. Governor Walz has said that union members need to stand up to change a system that shields that kind of behavior that contributed to Floyd's death. Duluth leaders are getting a clearer picture of how much funding the city will receive from the Federal CARES Act. Congress passed the coronavirus relief bill back in March. Minnesota received $840 million. During the special session, the legislature is finalizing the formula for how to allocate the money to cities and counties. Duluth Mayor Emily Larson says based on the expected plan, Duluth could receive $6.5 million. St. Louis County would also receive funding. Larson says they're just waiting to see what happens.
We are ready to make our case and ready to be on the front lines of continuing to help you and this community respond to COVID-19 and all of the many other intersections of activity that we're seeing now in the city of Duluth.
Larson added the city is anticipating a budget deficit between $20 and $38 million due to COVID-19. The CARES Act money can't be used to fill that hole, but it can be used to prepare for and respond to the pandemic. Minnesota made history today. State leaders voted unanimously to clear the name of a black man convicted of raping a white woman in Duluth 100 years ago. Irene Tuskins claims that 7 black circus workers raped her in West Duluth were never founded. A doctor who examined her at the time could not find any evidence. Still, her story sparked an angry mob that lynched 3 black men in downtown Duluth on June 15th of 1920. Their names were Elias Clayton, Elmer Jackson, and Isaac McGee. Another man, Max Mason, was tried and convicted of the crime. Today, almost 100 years to the day later, the Minnesota Board of Pardons voted to clear Mason's name. He is now the first person in the state to be pardoned after their death. Governor Tim Walz said it was about time. So did members of the Clayton Jackson McGee Memorial Board.
Not only is the conviction unjust, but the facts lack the basis for an arrest in the first place. It is said justice delayed is justice denied. Justice was denied, Mr. Max Mason.
Irene Tuskin was actually Duluth Police Chief Mike Tuskin's great aunt. He spoke during today's hearing, sharing his support for Mason's pardon and calling his conviction an abomination.
We need desperately to help those who want to abandon the racism of that fiction so that Max Mason his memory can be held in all of our hearts in a clear and innocent way.
The Clayton-Jackson McGee Memorial Committee applied for the pardon last year. St. Louis County Attorney Mark Rubin and several local lawmakers also supported it. The vice president listened to heartfelt personal stories from African-American leaders on race and justice disparities today at a Pennsylvania church. Meanwhile, President Trump says he's preparing executive action on police reform. Skylar Henry is at the White House with more.
We are looking for ways to advance better standards, better training.
Vice President Mike Pence held a raw discussion on race and police reform with African-American faith leaders in Pittsburgh.
I'm tired that people still do not acknowledge that systemic racism is real.
White lives matter, and we don't deny that. But right now, white lives aren't being oppressed in the same way.
The conversation comes a day after President Trump promised to take action on police reform.
We're working to finalize an executive order that will encourage police departments nationwide to meet the most current professional standards of force. And that means force, but force with compassion.
Local officials in some cities have already begun to enact reforms. Congressional Democrats introduced their police reform bill earlier this week, and Senate Republicans are expected to unveil their proposals early next week.
President Trump plans to return to the campaign trail next Friday and is pushing back against criticism. The date June 19th, known as Juneteenth, celebrates the end of slavery in the U.S.
There's also controversy on the choice of venue. Tulsa, Oklahoma, the site of a race massacre that resulted in the deaths of hundreds of African-American residents nearly 100 years ago.
Was that on purpose?
No, we're going to Oklahoma. And if you think about it, relative to your question, think about it as a celebration.
In the nation's capital this weekend, protesters are expected back on the streets for more demonstrations against police violence.
President Trump is spending the weekend at his golf club in New Jersey. Tomorrow, he will deliver the commencement address to West Point graduates. Let's check in with Dave for a look at the weather. Dave, it is Friday, and it was nice to see that blue sky and sunshine today.
Yeah, on that note, Kristen, let's take a look at a picture that came from Lake Vermilion earlier today. Nice day on Armstrong Bay and all across the region as higher pressure from Canada settles into our area. Although that's going to create some trouble here tonight, it's going to cool things down. Chasing away the showers we had yesterday, indeed, they're going away. With that cooler high pressure coming to call, that could lead to a frost advisory tonight. In fact, a frost advisory has been issued for all zones in our region. I'll show you the map in a few more minutes, but right now I'm going to show you the cold hard facts here for the weekend. It's going to be clear and cool tonight, low temp 39, not 49, and could be towards 35 up in the iron ranges. That's where the frost could nip the hardest there. Because the high pressure cell is here, though, it'll push down cloud cover and we'll have a mostly sunny sky both Saturday and Sunday. Normal high is 70. We'll be undercutting that both days. But next week, a warm spell returns. And just like earlier this week when some towns in Wisconsin cracked 90, that could happen again. I'll show you the 7-day forecast in more detail in a few more minutes.
Sounds good. Thanks, Dave. Still to come on Live at 5, a restaurant in Cloquet is getting creative to accommodate customers as restrictions lessen. Plus, taking the theater home with you in Grand Rapids. City by City's next. Plus, tonight at 6, how Black-owned businesses have been impacted by reform movements across the country.
Catch Eye on Parenting every Thursday at 6 with me, Leanne Valdez, on CBS3.
Home Furniture presents our grand reopening sale. For a limited time, enjoy 10% savings on all Stickley. Own a piece of stunningly crafted history from Stickley during Home Furniture's grand reopening sale.
Here's a crust too thick and cheesy not to eat in reverse. Keep it coming, buddy. That's right. Back it up. The one and only original stuffed crust, only from Pizza Hut. Just $11.99. No one out-pizzas the Hut.
Let's drive forward together. Lease a new Jeep at Duluth Dodge from only $199 a month. An award-winning Jeep Renegade Latitude from only $199 a month. It's a Duluth Dodge Blue Ribbon lease. 4755 Miller Trunk Highway or DuluthDodgeMinnesota.com.
Find your favorite CW shows on the Duluth CW, cable, satellite, over the air, and streaming on KDLH Duluth.
I don't believe there's another meteorologist in this area who has the experience and years that Dave has.
He's an Ely guy, he's local, he's been here.
His experience That's something that's really special to CBS3.
He's just like this bastion of knowledge. He remembers everything.
Get to know Dave Anderson weekday nights on Live Local CBS3.
We all want to do our part to keep our communities safe.
Thank you for your efforts to stay home, but you shouldn't stay home no matter what.
If you have a medical emergency, call 911 immediately. Our emergency departments are open and ready to care for every type of illness or injury.
If you have a chronic condition, call your clinic and we can help manage your care. Our facilities are clean and safe.
Please, seek care when you need it.
Essentia Health and St. Luke's are open and ready to care for you.
During Home's re-grand opening sale at Seasonal Concepts, take up to an extra 10% off sale prices on everything patio, plus free no-contact shipping. Shop in the store, by personal appointment, or online. The grand reopening patio sale at Home Seasonal Concepts.
Here's a live look over Lake Superior this Friday evening. Dave Anderson will have your full weather forecast in just a few minutes, but first, let's see what's happening around the rest of the region. Home theater gets a creative twist in Grand Rapids, plus the farmers market is back on in Ashland. That and more as we take you around the Northland, city by city. As restaurants and businesses begin to open their doors after 3 months of shutdowns, they are also adjusting to their new reality. For the owner of Pedro's Grill and Cantina in Cloquet, that meant completely reinventing her restaurant. With help from city officials, the restaurant was able to convert their storefront to accommodate up to 40 customers for outdoor seating as per the state's requirements. It's just one of the many ways local businesses are getting creative in uncertain times. Meanwhile, bringing the theater home. That's the idea behind a new idea from the Grand Rapids Players Club, which is now offering DIY theater kits in place of their annual Theater Kids Summer Camp. Each month, the Players Club will release a kit that focuses on a different fairy tale. This will include scripts, tips, and educational material about blocking and costume design. And starting tomorrow, Ashland residents can enjoy fresh produce from area farmers. The Ashland Area Farmers Market begins this Saturday and will run through next Wednesday, the 17th. The market will be open from 8 a.m. to 12 p.m. each day. Organizers say they will be following Department of Health social distancing guidelines. If there's something going on in your neighborhood that you think we should know about, send us an email and it might be featured as we go around the Northland, city by city. Still to come on Live at 5, we're taking a look at the impact the Verso paper mill idling is having on local loggers.
The shower chance is going away. Cooler air is coming in from Canada. Frost advisory for everybody tonight. We'll talk about how low those temps will go coming up after this break.
Hi, I'm Dr. Charity Reynolds. I would like to remind you that COVID-19 is still around. Remember to wash your hands, wear your mask, and stay home as much as possible. Thank you.
Getting a good night's sleep is difficult for many people. Tranquil Sleep uses natural amino acids to turn off the brain and allow sleep to happen naturally. It really works.
Save big money on your next project with 11% off everything right now at Menards. Menards has what you need to start and finish your home improvement projects. Plus, you'll save 11% on all of it. Menards also offers contactless pickup. Order and pay for your items online and have one of our team members load your order into your vehicle with zero contact. Stop waiting and start saving with 11% off everything now at Menards.
Save big money at Menards. Hi, I'm Dr. Charity Reynolds. I would like to remind you that COVID-19 is still around. Remember to wash your hands, wear your mask, and stay home as much as possible. Thank you.
You work hard for your money and deserve to see it go the extra mile. Join us Wednesday mornings and hear from local experts on tips to better manage your finances in Eye on Money on Live Local CBS3. Brought to you by MPPL Financial.
We're all trying to learn something during this crisis. And we want you to know CBS News is here to help you make sense of it all.
Northwest Outlet is open for business. Now save up to 40% off store-wide.
Always on the go, but want to keep up with the day's news? Don't worry. Now we are wherever you are. Traveling? No problem. Stream wherever, whenever with live local CBS3. Now, the CBS3 Duluth WeatherMax forecast with meteorologist Dave Anderson.
Cooler air is coming to call, and that sets us up for a frost advisory for all the zones here in our region. Aitkin County, if you're catching our signal out that neck of the woods, you're off the hook. But for the rest of us, it's going to be a bit on the chilly side, to be polite. Low temps dropping into the 30s across the board. Closest to the freezing mark, 32, will be found from the Iron Ranges up towards border country. And the South Shore will be a little bit brisk as well, so their southern latitude isn't going to help out much this time around. There's a slight chance that come Sunday morning we may still face a little frost, but next week, as a big warm spell comes around, we'll probably forget about frost and cooler temperatures, and we'll probably start worrying about things being too humid. That's just the way it goes for us once in a while. Current conditions at the airport in Duluth, 60 degrees, so the cool down's coming, 39% for the relative humidity, and an easterly, southeasterly winds going 10 miles per hour. I think the winds will stay easterly at least through Saturday, so that could make things even cooler by the lake. So what we're getting at then is morning starts tomorrow in the 30s, afternoon finish in the 60s away from the lake, but only 50s right by the lake. Very similar setup to the temperatures we're seeing right now. 57 to 61 in the Upper Peninsula, 61 to 64 degrees here in northern Wisconsin. 68 degrees Moose Lake, maybe one of the warmer temperatures we see in just a little while here, and it's as cool as 45 right by the lake in Grand Marais, upper 50s towards Silver Bay. Low 60s Vermilion Range, low to mid 60s on the Mesabi, up towards border country, low 60s there as well. Again, low temps tonight, north, about 35 degrees. South Shore could be pretty close to that as well. Farther inland, a little bit warmer, where we don't have that easterly wind affecting things here, upper 30s. So gardeners beware. Doppler map right now shows things on the calmer side because that low from yesterday's leaving, and the cool high pressure is sliding in to dominate the upper Midwest through the weekend. So if the normal high temp is around 70, we'll be undercutting that for both Saturday and Sunday. But as early as Monday, things start to change the other direction. The high fades away, withdraws back up to the north after it loses its oomph. And then the slower pressure system pulls in warmer air beginning on Monday, which by Tuesday, Wednesday could culminate again in 80s for a lot of towns. And in Wisconsin, the lower 90s again, not out of the question. And the low will bring a couple of rain chances, but they're not fantastic ones. I'll show them to you anyway, though, here with the 7-day forecast, just in case they do pay off. Tonight in Minnesota, clear and cool. Low temps about 35 inland to 40, 41 right by the lake. In Wisconsin and Michigan, 35 by the lake, especially over towards Ashland and Ironwood, and perhaps as warm as 38 in Superior. Split the difference, 37 towards Cable and Hayward. Clear and cool there as well. Then sunny tomorrow, high temps 60 by the lake to perhaps 69 inland in Wisconsin and the UP. And for Minnesotans, look for 50s by the lake from that easterly wind. Mid to maybe upper 60s farther inland. And then it slowly starts to creep up temperature-wise. Sunday, maybe 67 degrees. Monday, 74, with clouds increasing as that low comes in from the west. And that gives us 40 to 60% chances for showers and thunderstorms Tuesday and Wednesday, Kristen. 83 to 84 degrees even here at the head of the lakes, at least over the hill. And that's why I'm thinking places like Hayward again could crack 90 degrees just like they did last week.
Wow. Yeah, that would be a hot day for sure. You know, the cooler temps this weekend, I don't mind it if there's some sunshine.
Nature's sauna. We have it cool a couple days, then we warm up, go back down.
Exactly.
Don't even have to jump in the lake.
I love it. Thanks, Dave. After almost 100 days shut down, the Lake Superior Zoo reopened its doors today. As part of their pandemic safety plan, the zoo is only allowing visitors to view the 21 outdoor exhibits. Zoo leaders say while some exhibits are still closed, they're hoping people will come to meet the zoo's new bear cubs.
We're thrilled that we're able to open at any extent to the public. Our animals will be thrilled. They've actually missed seeing visitors on grounds.
All zoo staff is required to wear masks. It's suggested visitors do as well. During the pandemic, some events have had an easier time than others transitioning into the virtual world. Swimming lessons aren't one of them. But the Superior YMCA is determined to make it happen. After canceling in-person lessons this summer, which usually draw 2,600 kids, they had to get creative. So they introduced instructional videos online via YouTube and Facebook and even TikTok. The Y's aquatic director says kids learning water safety one way or another could help save a life.
So this is really giving parents the tools to kind of teach their kids themselves. Obviously, it doesn't replace regular swim lessons in the same way that distance learning didn't replace regular school for our kids, but it's the best. It's something that we can do right now.
There will be a total of 8 videos that will be on the Y's Facebook and YouTube pages. We have a link on our website. The Itasca County Family YMCA is reopening on Monday. Members 14 and older can use the facility, including the strength room, track, and the gym. The Itasca Area Community Education Office is also offering in-person programming this summer, like mountain biking, soccer, and more. Check out our website for more details. Even as states begin to reopen, some major industries and the smaller local businesses that rely on them are still struggling. CBS3's Emma Quinn spoke with one Northland business owner after a big company he supplies to announced hundreds of layoffs this week.
With Verso's Duluth paper mill idling and its future uncertain, those in the logging industry say they're worried about what this means for their business. Wood Forest Product, located in Canyon, has been in Peter Wood's family for over 3 generations. He wouldn't put a number on it, but Wood says business has declined during the pandemic. With demand for paper down, that means demand for his logs are down too. He expects to see an even greater decline when Verso officially idles at the end of the month. He adds that loggers help support other industries, so their decline impacts everyone.
How it affects us greatly is all these folks are not buying their normal products anymore, and we're part of the raw resources that supply them.
Wood says he hopes state and local leaders will provide some help for the logging industry. He adds this is not just an issue here in Minnesota, but for loggers across the Midwest.
All right, thanks, Emma. Wood says other mills and paper companies in the Northland that are being impacted are located in McGregor, Cloquet, and Grand Rapids. Still to come, the pandemic is not over, but it's slowly starting to look more like summertime in Duluth, especially on the lake.
Dinner with the Drakes tonight? Alexa, ask Buick to start my Encore GX. 4 fillets.
You know this dinner's for their
Kids. Thanks for watching them.
Where's the pizza?
The first ever Buick Encore GX. Right now, get $1,500 purchase allowance on the first ever Buick Encore GX. Visit your Lake Country Buick dealer.
Right now, millions of people and billions of devices are connected to the internet. Homes, businesses, hospitals, schools. The security and reliability of these connections are more important than ever. That's why at MediaCom, we've built a network to protect them. A network that sees threats, fixes problems before they occur, and keeps you going with 99.99% network reliability.
Always on the go, but want to keep up with the day's news? Don't worry. Now we are wherever you are. Traveling? No problem. Stream wherever, whenever with live local CBS3.
Kindness makes a world of difference at Arrowhead Supply. Donate $50 or more to charity and save more than ever before on stressless seating. Save at least $300 on stressless recliners and office chairs. Plus, save hundreds more with $200 off every sofa seat you buy. There's never been a better time to help others and fill your home with the unmatched comfort of stressless seating. Be kind and save generously at Arrowhead Supply.
The Glen Shee murders are the most well-known murder in Duluth, but that has nothing on this story.
CBS3's Anthony Matt brought you the Digging Deeper exclusive of a Duluth man's determination to uncover the truth behind one of the city's darkest mysteries. Now, we've been honored with a Regional Merle Award for hard news reporting. Award-winning journalism you can trust from live, local CBS3.
We are strong, we are resilient, and we will get through this together. But these are stressful times, and it's important to also practice good self-care. It's normal to feel overwhelmed, anxious, or afraid, but there is hope. Reach out to someone, connect with your friends, stay in touch with your community, and know that you are not alone. Learn more at wearebroadcasters.com/hope. Furnished by the National Association of Broadcasters and this station.
As businesses reopen, it's important to support the shops, dealerships, and service providers who hire local workers and drive our economy.
I don't know anybody that works at Amazon, but I have friends and neighbors who work at local businesses.
And you can help. Spend your money here. Shop local when you shop online. Mini deliver or have curbside pickup.
And they're keeping things safe for you.
Remember this when you buy and support local. Invest in the Northland.
Catch Eye on Parenting every Thursday at 6 with me, Leanne Valdez on CBS3.
Despite the ongoing pandemic, it's starting to look a bit more like a normal Duluth summer. The Vista Fleet's first launch of 2020 today was more than a month behind schedule. They typically start cruising Lake Superior on May 1st, but because of the pandemic, they needed to wait for state regulators to allow them to operate and time to come up with a new safety plan. That means tours will only be at half capacity. Face masks are not mandatory, but they are recommended. Vista staff say they know people are ready to get back on the water.
I'm feeling good about it, and I think it's because we have prepared ourselves for this. We've done all the research and are looking at CDC best practices and listening and learning, and just making ourselves aware. Safety is always our #1 priority, whether there's a pandemic going on or not.
While on board, bar services will be available, but there won't be any snacks. The Vista Fleet gift shop is also open. Tourist-focused attractions reopening is good news for Duluth businesses, too. Christy Stokes with the Greater Downtown Council says she has already seen an increase in traffic downtown. With restaurants opening outdoors last week and indoors this week, she says more people are choosing to make road trips to Duluth. While Stokes knows it won't be a typical Duluth summer, she thinks it will slowly pick back up.
It's going to be slower, but we also know that this is our summer time period, so we're starting to see increases as we're moving along, and everyone is doing it in a real safe manner, and so we'll continue to promote that and encourage people to support those businesses.
Stokes also said more people are booking rooms at Duluth hotels. Duluth city officials were not able to share updated tourism tax collection totals today. They hope to share those numbers next week.
Coming up on the CBS Evening News, as coronavirus cases spike across America, the CDC issues updated guidance about large gatherings, suggesting people wear face masks, especially when there is singing or chanting. Plus, Louisville bans no-knock warrants after the death of Breonna Taylor. We have an emotional interview with Taylor's mother. And with Major League Baseball in limbo, Steve Hartman introduces us to a young slugger channeling the spirit of Babe Ruth. That's tonight on the CBS Evening News.
Find your favorite CW shows on the Duluth CW, cable, satellite, over the air, and streaming on KDLH Duluth.
Northwest Outlet Store is open. Yes, Northwest Outlet is open for business 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. Now get up to 40% off store-wide on clothing, up to 40% off on footwear, up to 40% off on fishing, up to 40% off on camping, up to 40% off store-wide at Northwest Outlet. Yes, Northwest Outlet now open for business Tuesday through Saturday 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. Online 24/7, curbside pickup during store hours. 1814 Belknap, Superior.
Before using Olea, my hair color was less vibrant. I had to rescue it.
Olea, hair color powered by 60% oils, no ammonia.
The color is really rich, and it looks healthier than before I colored it. My hair is happy right now.
Olea by Garnier Naturally.
Tonight at 6.
How a man is using his meals to introduce a new culture to the Northland.
Higher air pressure's taken over the region. It's going to dry us up, and I'll talk about for how long.
On live local CBS3.
Duke was a man of few words and many songs.
Let freedom ring. Gone country. Going down till the sun comes up.
It's 102.5. Duke
Mariah Haberman here from Discover Wisconsin. Join me and the rest of the DW crew every week on this station for all things Wisconsin. Continue the adventure on social media and discoverwisconsin.com for behind-the-scenes content and great Wisconsin giveaways, including a chance to win a free vacation. This week's featured prize package could take you to Baraboo. Just visit discoverwisconsin.com for details.
Find your favorite CW shows on the Duluth CW, cable, satellite, over the air, and streaming on KDLH Duluth.
Welcome back to the CBS3 News Live at 5. Here's a live look from Canal Park this Friday evening. Let's take a quick look at today's top stories, and we'll let you know what's coming up tonight at 6. A special session of the legislature is underway in Minnesota to examine police practices after the death of George Floyd. Minnesota Democrats are proposing a ban on police using chokeholds, requiring officers to intercede when a colleague uses excessive force, and revamping the arbitration process for police who contest their firings. And coming up tonight at 6, a Superior man is serving up dinner with a side of culture. Tony O'Neill, owner of Jamrock Cultural Restaurant, has been cooking up Caribbean cuisines right from his home for about a year now. O'Neill says the Twin Ports has a small black community, and he's hoping to introduce the Jamaican culture one plate at a time. We'll have more on his story coming up tonight at 6. That's your news at 5. The CBS Evening News is up next. We'll see you right back here.